Hello YouTubers, RogueMonkeyJr here. In today's video we're going to be covering the patch notes for the Old Ways event that just dropped for Apex Legends. As per usual, there'll be a link in the description down below as well as in the top pinned comment if you want to go check out the full patch notes for yourself. So first and foremost, duos and map rotations. So starting on today, duos will be added to the game alongside trios, as well as a permanent map rotation that gives players the ability to play duos or trios on Kings Canyon and World's Edge. Since the launch of Apex Legends, we've introduced duos a few times as a limited time mode, and overall it's had a positive effect on the game's health in regards to queue times and gameplay systems, in addition to reinforcing team play, something that is paramount to every design decision we make for Apex Legends. So with the 4.2 update, we are excited to be adding it as a permanent mode alongside trios. Duos will not be available in ranked. Now you might be asking yourself, what about solos? So when they introduced solos as a limited time mode last year, we saw it actually negatively impacted the game, especially when it came to new player retention. We've also purposely designed Legends and their abilities to complement team play and squad composition, but when played solo, some Legend abilities become useless. These are just some of the reasons we decided not to include solos in today's update. We're still exploring ways to allow a solo experience, but for now, grab a friend or two and jump into the arena. We know players want to experience map variety when playing Apex Legends, so the 4.2 update will introduce map rotation that will include the current version of World's Edge, Kings Canyon Season 2, and Kings Canyon After Dark, which is really interesting. Ranked play will remain on the map dedicated to where we are in the current series, which is currently Kings Canyon. We want to keep queue times as short as possible, which is why we decided to go with rotation versus selection, as we believe selection could have a very negative impact on queue times across the world. We'll be keeping the maps on a fairly quick rotation and tweaking it as we study the data and listen to your feedback. We'll also be introducing other versions of previously released Kings Canyon and World's Edge maps into the rotation from time to time to keep it fresh, which is absolutely a fantastic idea and great for player retention, I would imagine, and also just makes it so you don't go crazy playing on the same map over and over again. So, with this update, new town takeover, Bloodhounds Trials. Dive into Bloodhounds Trials, where you and your squad battle against a horde of prowlers and claim high tier loot as a reward. But beware, the most dangerous game, fellow legends who want to scavenge those goods for themselves. In moments of quiet, don't forget to explore the enclosure, especially with a certain hunter at your side. Next, moving on to balance changes. The G7 Scout saw a little nerf, so reduced the headshot scale from 2.0 to 1.75, reduced the leg shot scale from 0.9 to 0.75, and slightly reduced projectile speed. For the L-Star, it will reset its view kick pattern much more quickly to avoid horizontal recoil feeling like it goes in an unpredictable direction while feathering the trigger. Reduced time before overheat from 2.4 to 2.2, so 25 shots before overheating is now 23 before overheating. Kraber increased headshot damage multiplier from 2.05 to 3.0, which is a lot, and now it should always down a target with a headshot even if they are a fortified character with a level 3 helmet and a full Evo shield. Sniper ammo, reduced ammo per pickup from 10 to 8 and reduced inventory stack size from 20 to 16. Low profile, limb shots on low profile legends now deal as much damage as body shots, which that's pretty crazy. Revenant, player feedback that Revenant wasn't feeling viable enough has been loud and clear, and game data showed the same. Our goal is to bring his effectiveness up to parity with other legends. Silence, increased duration of status effect from 10 seconds to 20 seconds, which is pretty substantial. Silence now disables Gibraltar's gun shield, increased the duration of area of effect from 5 seconds to 10 seconds, and Silence now has 2 charges, which is crazy. Death Totem characters are now respawned with 50 health, or whatever health they had when they activated if lower instead of 1, so that's a really good buff. And then they also removed the low profile for the Revenant. Lifeline. New secondary passive. Lifeline can access secret compartments with more loot on blue bins. Blue bins are found randomly replacing ordinary bins. These rare bins will have a secondary compartment that only Lifeline can open. The secondary compartment will always contain some mixture of health items, weapon attachments, and knockdown shields, which is good. Lifeline needed a little bit of love, although she is a very strong character. I feel like a lot of people haven't been using her lately. Wraith. Portals will now disappear after 4 seconds if both ends are outside the circle. This change was made to combat players exploiting the portal to avoid taking damage outside the ring. Evil armor reduced the amount of damage required to evolve. So for blue, armor damage requirement reduced from 100 to 75, purple reduced from 300 to 150, and red armor damage requirement reduced from 500 to 400. So now it will require 625 damage to get it from regular all the way up to red. Kings Canyon and Kings Canyon After Dark increased to the total amount of loot items that spawn in the map. Moving on to bug fixes and quality of life. Fixed bug for cases where matches results would not process correctly after players were disconnected. Fixes for some script errors. Fixed bug for cases where taller legends could get stuck in geometry after using Wraith's Portal. Fixed bug for cases where players that were under Revenant's death protection could still be healed by Lifeline's Dock Drone and Watson's Interceptor Pylon. Fixed a bug where mantling with Wraith would cause the camera to clip through the character. PS4 fixed lighting in some interior areas on World's Edge that were appearing too dark. Fixed bug where sometimes players would lose aim assist after being hit by Revenant's silence ability. Fix for cases where players would not receive assist credit when using Crypto's drone to scan enemies. Fixed issue where sometimes players could hear and in rare cases be hit by Revenant's ability while in the firing range when he's not there. That must have been pretty hilarious. Fix for some cases where the circle would end in a bad or invalid location. Fixed to help reduce cases of invisible doors. Fixed issue with Bangalore's Viceroy skin where the legs were showing the wrong skin while mantling. Fixed bug for cases when Revenant places his ult Death Totem on the train, a player is respawned to it while on the train, and the train is moving, the player could be respawned somewhere else on the map or even off the map. Energized charge for the Sentinel Sniper Rifle can now be cancelled with a Y or triangle button. That's really good. Fixed bug for cases where dive trails were visible before exiting the dropship. I think that was that big ass bubble of light that's underneath the dropship that would make a crazy loud sound. So if that's it, that is great. And finally, fixes for map bug related to exploitable hiding spots and bad geo. So that's pretty much all of the patch notes for the Old Ways lore event. Again, link in the description and in the top pinned comment if you want to go check out the patch notes for yourself. If you've already played the new limited time mode, let me know what you think in the comment section down below. But yeah, thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a good one.